Hey humans, welcome back to otro videito más. Today, we're basically traveling with all my gear. So if you're planning on traveling soon and you have worries or doubts, or you just want to see how somebody else packs for their travels, then stick around. Let's get to it. All right, so the first thing I packed was my camera bag, the Peter McKinnon everyday camera bag. I have the other one right here, but this one's too big to go with you on the plane. So this camera bag was measured and it does fit under the plane seat, so keep that in mind. Always make sure you measure your stuff. I have my batteries, all my drives, SSDs, charging cables, and I got my main lenses that I'm gonna take with me. 35 to 150 from Tamron, the 85 1.4 Sigma, 50 1.2 from Sony, the 90mm macro, and the 16 to 35 of 2.8. So this is the camera. I have another one right here, the A7R5, but I'm not taking that one with me because I'm mostly gonna be doing video. And here I got the Mini 4 from Mavic, brand new. So we'll see how it handles the cold weather. And then here I have all the ND filters I'm gonna need. And then this one will be kind of empty to carry the DJI pouch, which will have the Osmo Pocket 3. Also, I'll take with me the carrying case for it. But for now, this is what I packed first, just so I know, like, this is my camera gear. I have it all. Do I need a bigger bag or do I need a different bag? Everything fit properly, so everything was good. Now I got this Apache 5800 from Harbor Freight, and this is basically the same as the Pelican 5100. This is made to fit as a carry-on on, I believe, every airline. So that's the reason I got this, and only for $100. This case is amazing. It does come with foam padding and these removable phone inserts, so you can basically protect all your stuff. All my camera gear is up here, and I have lights down here. I brought my two biggest lights, the Aperture 300X and then the Amaran 300, the color version. And I'm also taking with me the Spotlight SE for the Amaran 300C. So that's pretty nice that I get to fit these two big lights in here. But as you can see, I can't afford any padding either at the bottom or the top. No padding whatsoever, but everything is pretty tight in here, so that's why. I have the two MC aperture lights there. I'm taking my DJI mics with me, and yeah, this is the control box for the Aperture 300X. And as far as light stands, obviously they don't fit here, so I have them here on my checked bag. These are newer. I know they're not the best. I would prefer to have C stands instead of these for these bigger lights, but it'll be in a controlled environment inside a building, so everything should be fine and stay steady. There's clothes, padding, a bunch of stuff. I did bring my small aperture light box, 45 by 45. It's very small, compact. Obviously it's not in its case because the case takes more space. I also brought one of the big boys light box, the 30 by 120, which is the long skinny ones, and the bones mount connector for both lights. Beanie, toiletry and stuff. I also got dividers right here for this low pro bag. I'm taking this bag just in case I want a smaller setup when in my travels. And I packed it with clothes, obviously, but I put the strap here, my multi-tool. I got the Peak Design clip for my hip. I got the top handle right here. I got the side handle for the rig. And yeah, it's all padded in there. Everything else is closed. As you can see, this will go back here, and everything else is closed. And then I'm bringing the chargers for the Sony batteries. And yeah. And last but not least, I'm also taking with me the new Chronicles tripod from ProMaster. And this thing is a little bigger than your standard Peak Design tripod. As you can see, I have here Peak Design tripod, and compared to the Chronicle from ProMaster, it's definitely bigger, but this has a ball head mount, a video head handle. So I think this is gonna be a lot more versatile than the Peak Design travel tripod. So that's everything I'm bringing with me on this trip. I did have to buy one light modifier and send it to the location because it was just not gonna fit. So keep in mind that sometimes, depending on your setup, depending on what you're gonna do, you're gonna need to send stuff to the location. So also keep in mind, I am TSA pre-checked, so I think I'll have an easier time going through with all the stuff. But if you're not, make sure you get earlier at the airport to have time in case they want to open up your bag and check stuff and ask you questions. But I don't think I'll have any issues. We'll see when I get there. Obviously, I'll take you with me. That way you are in the loop, and that way you know how my experience was, so maybe it'll be your experience as well. But I think definitely TSA pre-check is going to help in this situation. But yeah, I have everything. I have the mic, I have the DJI Pocket 3 with me right now. So you can see a little stabilized footage. Yeah. But yeah, gotta pack my laptop, put it in the bag, and then take it all with me. So it's looking like I have it all set. So now all I need is to get through. I have one direct flight from here, Miami to Columbus, Ohio, and yeah, I just gotta get through security once and then we're good to go. Let's get going. Let's go to the airport. All right, we just made it to the airport. Time to go check the bag and go through security. Hi, Daryl. All right, so I didn't record this at the airport because things were kind of busy in there, but I was able to get through security. Now they did check both of my bags, bag with all the lights and the bags with the camera. So to describe how it went, the bags were coming through the line. They looked at me and they were like, "This yours?" And I was like, "Yep, that's mine." And so they pulled them aside to check them. They opened one of them. They didn't know what it was. They asked me. I said, "They're just lights for a production." They were like, "Oh, okay." So they brought them over. Funny, the lady could not pick them up, so it was kind of heavy. It was like 45 pounds of a carry-on, which is quite a bit. But they didn't say anything about the weight. And then with my camera bag, they didn't really open it. They opened the top pouch and they just swabbed for stuff. I'm assuming drugs, but they didn't find anything, obviously. Yeah, then I was on my way. It literally took an extra 5 minutes, 10 minutes, between 5 and 10 minutes. Again, I went through TSA pre-check, so there was people on the line, but there wasn't a lot like on the other lines. I think that had something to do with it and why they didn't like check me as much. But honestly, everything went fine. I do have to say, if you're flying with gear, TSA pre-check is so much nicer because there's less of a chance you need to pull out all your stuff and show everything to everyone. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. I was able to get the 45-pound carry-on bag inside. Nobody said anything. Again, I made it look like it weighed nothing, just so nobody would be like complaining about it. But it was pretty heavy. At the end of the flight, when we got to the destination, the stewardess tried to remove the carry-on with the lights from the overhead bin. Yeah, it wasn't happening. He was like, "Wow, this is like really, really heavy," and I was like, "Yep, it's a bunch of lights." Obviously, the flight was over, so they didn't say anything about it. But I feel like if they would have noticed that at the beginning of the flight, they would have tried to check it, which was not about to happen. So keep that in mind. Thankfully, it was a hard case, so if it did have to go down under the plane, it should have been pretty safe, but still, you don't want to chance it. Also, I did have an air tag on my checked bag, which also helped me track and make sure that my checked bag was with me at all times. So that was kind of nice. Definitely suggest using air tags, getting TSA pre-check. Take all the expensive stuff with you. Try to take it on the plane. I mean, it's a lot of money. Unless you're insured and you really are not super worried, definitely try to take it with you. But yeah, that's it for my experience flying with a ton of gear. There were no really big problems. I was flying Spirit too, which you would think they would have had a problem with big bags, but no, everything went good. I was able to take the tripod with me. I was able to store it under the seat in front of me with my personal backpack, which I think that Peter McKinnon daily backpack is pretty big, but it technically does fit the measurements that they give you for your personal item. So it was fine, and it did fit under the seat compartment. But yeah, just let me know if you have any questions down below, and I'll try to answer any questions I have. But obviously every airline is different, so make sure you read up on it before you just take off. It might save you a couple dollars here and there. Also, I've heard other creators saying that they've used Media Pass and that'll give them an easier time throughout the airport. I didn't use it. I didn't need it. I thought it was fine, but obviously if you're carrying more gear than what I was carrying, then maybe it might be a good thing to look into. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. And yeah, Tara, próxima.